Hey guys, Sean Terry here, flip2freedom.com. All right, now in this video, it's part number 3 of the coaching call that we did on how to get out of the suck, right? And what to do when everything sucks. So you start at point A and you're going to point B, and that middle point where you doubt yourself, there's fear, you don't know if you're moving forward, are you sure you made the right decision? You're kind of comparing yourself to everybody, and it seems like everyone else is having success, but you're stuck in the suck, right? And you're going and you're kind of doubting everything. Should you quit? Should you stop doing what you're doing, or should you move forward? So we talk about specifically what to do during that period, how to get your head on straight, and how to keep moving forward. So I give you some different techniques in this coaching call, and it was fun. So if you want to go back and watch video number 1 and video number 2, the links are below. Also, too, if you want to learn how to do deals in a real estate market crash and do incredibly well using our new pivot method, then you got to click the link below. It's Bear Market Millions. It's a recording that we did when it was a live version, and you get to see exactly what we do and how we pivoted to crush it in this market right now. So let's get into it, and I'll see you soon.
I can't take no loss. Yeah. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my. Yeah.
How do you do this? Right? How do you flip the switch? And I call flipping the switch beast mode. If you've ever been to one of our events or anything like that, we have called flip the switch. And it's beast mode. So you write this down, your habitual things in every aspect of your life, you write those down, where you are today habitually, that you've been getting and you just want to look at where you're at today. Look at the habits you've been doing every single day, and that's where where you're at. If you want to change it, you got to change your habits. You got to do them every single day repetitively, not for a week, not for 2 weeks, not for a month, whatever. I'm talking a long time. And you've got to put in the time and energy, because that compound effect is what builds success. So now you do that. How do you speed up the process? That becomes where you commit for a 90-day period, for 90 days. And this is how you have a thrust of success out of the gate. You take this idea that we're talking about and you supercharge it. And you do this for 90 days. And what you're going to do is you are going to work harder than you've ever worked before. Now, Grant Cardone talks at 10x, right? Which I love the example of just the idea of 10x, right? Ed Milet talks about turning up the temperature in your identity, turning up that temperature. And the way to change your identity and your way to turn up the temperature is you essentially 10x your effort for a burst of time. And that burst of time is, let's call it 90 days. So you're going to do a burst of time where you're going to change your identity, your work, you're going to do something change, and you're going to 10x your effort, what that effort is. Now, think about this, right? Could you, what would 10x look like in your current, in your current business? What would 10x look like, right? Instead of making, 5 calls, I'm going to make 50 calls a day. Instead of making 3 offers, I'm going to make 30 offers today, right? In whatever that number, instead of having, X contracts, I'm going to get, out of 30, I'm going to get 2 contracts signed, or maybe 1 contract signed out of it. So the question becomes, what would your life look like if you 10x'd a portion that you want to change? Like if you want to 10x your health, right? So what you do is you take 90 days and you go all in on your health. And instead of working out 3 days a week, you work out 6 days a week, right? And instead of eating it, you do not eat any sugar, any grains, or any dairy for the next 90 days. Or you do a 72-hour fast, and I'm going to go intermittent fasting, and I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to go all in on my health for 90 days. And you are going to see a massive shift in your health. That's why they call it, 75 hard. That's the 75 hard. The 75 hard is for 75 days. You do this intense 10x workout. You're working out twice a day, and you have to drink X amount of water, and you have to eat a certain way for 75 days. That's why they call it 75 hard. And what that does, you do a massive impact. You change your identity, and what it does, it's like a rubber band. You stretch, and then you can't recoil back because now you know what it looks like to go 10x, right? You know what it like. You know what it feels like. Now you give yourself a break. You take a week off, and you go, and you breathe, right? Go wherever you go, just chill, take your mind off it, chill, and then you go back at it. In 10x, because you've already stretched, you've already been there, you already know what it looks like, you already know what it feels like, and you go back at it for another 90 days. If you want to change your life in every aspect, health, relationship, business, wealth, then literally you can by doing what we just talked about. So when I'm in the suck and things suck and I'm in the middle right there, I'll go, okay, where am I? Now my relationship sucks and my wife and I are fighting and everything sucks. And it's like, we're in this like, right? First off, I look at myself, I look in the mirror and I go, okay, what am I doing to contribute to this mess? Well, I got to look at me first, right? Because I can't just make her change. I got to make me change. So then I'll go, okay, my relationship, okay, what do I have to change? I'm going to go for 90 days, I'm going to 10x what I've been doing, and I'm going to go overboard. And I guarantee after 90 days, there's going to be bliss. Now, I'm not saying you stop, but what happens is once you go there, you don't go back. You don't recoil back to being a jerk, right? You go back. You don't recoil back. What happens is maybe the intensity's not there, but the attention's still there, and you've done it. Same with your business. Now with your business, right? You 10x. What would your business look like then? Would you wake up earlier? What if you woke up, let's say 2 hours earlier every day? And you did it for 5 days a week. That's it. That's you. So I'm going to wake up 2 hours earlier. And within those 2 hours, I'm going to work on my marketing. I'm going to get my list ready. I'm going to pull my list together instead of doing it during work hours. And then guess what? 9 o'clock starts or 8:30, whatever you start, you're going to go bam. You're going to start making your phone calls. You're going to start talking to people instead of making 3 phone calls and looking at Instagram and flipping through it, and making 4 more phone calls and looking at, or, hey, I'm just going to text my friend, or, I'm going to go get a drink of this, here. I got to go, I'm going to go see what's in the refrigerator or whatever. And then, there is an intensity, turning up the temperature, working at a higher level, right? No, you're going to go out and I'm going to make 50 calls today. This is 10x what I'm normally used to doing, which is 5. And I'm in this theoretical example. So you're going to do 10 times more than you normally. You don't have time to look at Instagram. You don't have time to look at Facebook. You don't have time to mess around. Why? Because you are working at a higher level than you've ever worked before. And you do that, guess what? And do those repetitive things every single day. And you do it on a 10x level for 90 days. And guess what? You're going to be tired. You're going to wake up in the morning and you're like, I've been going 2 weeks straight, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. And your bed's going to be warm and it's going to be snowy and cold outside or whatever it might be. And you're going to say, I don't want to get up. And guess what? That's where success and failure is made, because if you said you're going to do it, then you got to do it, because you are holding you accountable. And guess what that's going to do for you? Because, most people operate on how they feel. Oh, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing it. I just don't feel good today. Who cares? You made a commitment. You got 90 days. You're going to do X, Y, Z to get X, Y, Z done. Just do it. I don't care if you don't feel good. I don't care if you sucks. I don't care, whatever. And guess what? You are going to feel better about yourself, because now you said you were going to do something and you did it, and you overcame all the mind stuff. We call it, rationalization, right? You're trying to rationalize yourself out of the situation. Well, I'll just do it tomorrow. Well, I called 30, 50 yesterday. I did really good yesterday, so I'm just going to give myself a break. Not. So 2 hours a day, 5 days a week is 10 hours a week. How many weeks in a month or in a year? 52 weeks. That's 520 hours. 520 hours additional that you're putting time and energy in your life and business, whether it be health. You can wake up 2 hours early and just, if you want to change your health, go to the gym, right? 2 hours late, 520 hours. And guess what? There are, and if you were going to say days, 8-hour work days, so 520 divided by an 8-hour work day, that is an additional 65 days of 8-hour work days. So you increased, instead of 365, you now have 430. Is that right? Yeah. 430 days in a year, because you woke up 2 hours early to invest in your bed. Yeah. So if you do that, that's 528 hours on 8-hour days. That's additional 65 days. Now, if you do that 65 times 5 years, that's an additional 325 days of productivity just by waking up 2 hours early in the morning. Only 5 days a week. You can sleep in on Saturday and Sunday. So that's 325 extra work days over 5 years. So in 5 years, you're getting 6 years of productivity. You don't think anything's going to change? Absolutely. It is going to, whatever you pick, and you could rotate. You can say, 90 days, I'm going to crush my health. 90 days, I'm going to crush my relationship. 90 days, I'm going to go crush my business. 90 days, I'm going to crush my, instead of putting, 2% away, I'm going to crush my business. I'm going to try to put 20% away, every single month or every single day. It could be every single day. Does anybody have Acorns app? Have you heard the Acorns app? It literally pulls money out, and you could set a number on it, set that number, it pulls money out of your account every single day. You don't even notice it's gone. I look at my Acorns account, like, holy crap. It's just, you don't know it's gone. It just comes out every day. It's like Starbucks. You take Starbucks of $5 coffee every single day, compounded over the next 50 years. You'll be worth $10 million, right? Same thing. That's the Acorns effect. It's little things that don't make a difference, don't make an impact in your life, but holy crap, over time it compounds, and it compounds quick. So, any questions? And I don't even know where that came from. I didn't even know I was going to talk about this today, but just thought we'd talk about it.
Question about your story that you just shared.
Sure.
So you said that for 10 years you didn't hire because you were really stop yourself. What did you do at that point? What was the shift that you still be on your way?
Okay, that's a great question. So Jason Medley is the owner of Collective Genius, which is it's one of the largest real estate masterminds, and they do They have apartment investors. They have, a couple wholesalers. They have fix and flippers. There's about probably 200 people from lenders to all this stuff. So he was just starting that mastermind way back when. 10 years I was in the business, right? And he said, hey, starting this mastermind, you want to come to the first event? There was 7 people in the room, 7 people. And I was like, sure, I've never been to a mastermind before. I'll go. Just, it happened to be in Phoenix. So I was like, yeah, I'll go in, I'll show up and see what it is. And I went to the meeting, and each person presents their business and what they're doing. And they talk about one thing that's going great and one thing that's sucking and where they need help. So I, heard everyone's kind of presentation. I talked about the one thing that's crushing, and I talked about the one thing that I need help, one thing, and where I need help, what's not working. And I was doing everything myself. I was literally working like 6-7 days a week. I was taking all the phone calls, I was doing the whole business by myself, all the marketing, waking up early, doing the stuff. And I was doing the bit, but I was and I got to the point where, how you stretch. So my 90 days of blitz turned into 10 years of blitz, right? Of where I was just going. And I bought a beach house and, Dana Point, just on my own, just me doing deals and stuff. It was, $1.5 million beach house. And, back in 2005 and we built a portfolio of houses at the time and sold them. And so just doing deals. And, but my business was doing well, but my relationship was struggling. My relationship with my kids was struggling. You know what I mean? My health was struggling. All the other areas, because I was so doing everything myself, I didn't understand leverage. And leverage is, and I'll explain leverage here in a second, but I went to this mastermind. I stood up there and I was literally stressed out to the max. Everyone in the room could tell I was stressed out to the max, talking about everything I'm doing. And Jason asked me one question and he goes, why don't you hire? And I'm like, hire? I can't hire. I'm a schmuck. I'm not a business owner. I'm just flipping houses, man. I'm just, knocking on doors and, doing some marketing and talking to sellers and getting deals. I can't hire. And he goes, why not? And he talked about, why don't you hire? And you could get them to do. And so that made a huge shift. And I hired my father-in-law referred this lady, Nancy. I decided to make my first hire. And so she came in for an interview. I did an interview with her and I'm like, you're hired. And I didn't know what to tell her. I didn't know what to have her do. My office was just like it was like a executive suite office. I paid $200 a month for, and I'm sitting in this little executive suite office because I have my kids at home, my wife at home. So I had to kind of get away and focus. And this is like before I started Flip to Freedom. And I put her in the corner and I didn't know what to tell her to do. I'm just like, what, just, scrub a list, I mean, it's like, I didn't know what to tell her what to do. And, so I didn't really have any, I think I paid her maybe, I don't know. I can't even remember what, like $15 an hour. I don't even know how much it was. I didn't pay her commission, whatever. And she just came in every day and she sat in the corner. Well, one day, she heard me taking phone calls and I had to run to an appointment and talk to seller and get a contract. And this is, we're talking like 2003. They didn't have iPhones. They had flip phones, right? So I gave her and I had ads. I had postcards and I sent postcards out, and any type of marketing went to my flip phone, which is a Motorola flip phone, right? You probably don't even know what those, most of the people don't even know. There's only a very few people that know what those are, right? So anyways, I got this Motorola flip phone. So I said, okay, I'm going to give you the flip phone. Can you do me a favor? Just answer the calls. And I went on my appointment, with the seller. I went on the appointment, got the contract, came back, and she answered the phone. She talked to the sellers, and she booked like 4 or 5 appointments for me, for the rest of the week. And I was like, wow, That's leverage. I went and got a contract. Now, normally my phone would be in the car or something like that, or my, whatever, so I could focus on the appointment. I'd come back and I'd have 20 voicemails, and I have to call everybody back, and I'd have to, you know what I mean? And I'd be driving in the car, trying to talk on the phone, writing people's information down from, you know what I mean? But I come back and she had all their information. It was neatly organized, and I'm talking on a yellow pad of paper. That's how we ran the business. Yellow pad of paper, wrote everything down, all nice and neat, phone numbers, all their information, everything there, I finally came up and go, I'm going to make you a lead sheet so you can have lead sheets. And I had the lead sheet. We actually had a paper lead sheet. She wrote all the information down, and I put that in a folder, and then I would take that folder with some comps and stuff and then go to the appointment. So eventually, what happens is I learned leverage. And what's leverage? Leverage is I was doing something productive and someone else is doing something productive that's helping my business. And now I didn't have to go make the phone calls. And then from there, I was like, I got to hire more people. I was like, I like this leverage thing. This is cool. Now, she ended up quitting, and then I hired Chelsea. And I hired Chelsea because she was family. She's, family. And she was a singer, and she was singing at some different gigs and stuff like that. But one of the places stopped doing live music, and she needed a job. And I'm like, okay, I'll hire her, but I don't really know what to hire her for. So I literally hired her again, stuck her in the corner. At this time, now I had my executive suite, and there was like one more executive suite that opened up that I rented for another $200 a month. And I put her in the office, and, and I had her, trying to start taking calls and doing deals and trying to figure out the business. But it started that way.
All right. I hope you like that. Part number 4 is coming in the next day or so. If you could do me a favor, I'd please like it. Well, please help us out. If you could like and subscribe to the video, it definitely helps with our algorithms. I greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and God bless.
I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my